Yo, so it is Wednesday, it is 8 a.m. New York time, and I'm just going to go through what I see for EU. I see a short, however, I don't like the fact that it's only just took it out with like that wick. I want to see like displacement. Also, I want to see like a bigger run up higher for the buy side. This deal could work out. However, I'm just going to be picky. I don't want to get in when I'm just half guessing, half not sure. I want to be 100% sure. So I'll go through what I think. So the DXY ran down London session back into this daily opening gap, which was last week. The only reason I've kept this on is because look how price is respecting this. Yeah, so I like this. So if this bounces, then I'll be quite confident that it would bounce up and potentially want to run back into this volume imbalance, which is these two red lines here on the daily. Market structure shift here. There's fair value gap here, and so forth. If we take a look at the bond market, which ICT showed us yesterday, if we take a look at the September futures contract, we go and look at the 1 hour, or the 4 hour, sorry. So it's broken this range here. It ranged, it's broken it, and now it took out buy side here, lower low. So it's market structure shift, and it tapped into this fair value gap here, and it's trading lower. So potential target could be this sell side down here, and sell side down here. So if this is going lower, then the dollar should be gaining strength. So if it's gaining strength, then we want to look to sell EU or foreign currencies. So we look at EU now. It has ran into this, so it's ran the buy side, market structure shift here, and it's ran into this fair value gap. So I'm quite confident. If you look on the hour, it's pulled into a hour order block here, and into the SIBI there, and it's also, if we draw from the top to the bottom, it's nearly into the equilibrium, but if we draw from this price swing here, it's in the 75%. But again, the only thing I don't like about this, and I'm just being picky, is because it's consolidating. I want to see like a bigger push up higher, enticing buyers, and then a displacement lower, not just that wick. If we look on the 1 minute, it's still quite choppy as well, in my opinion. The trade could still work out, but if I'm not 100% confident with something, then there's no point in putting money on the line, you know what I mean? Targets for this is for the bottom to the top. This sell side down here. If we look on the 15 minutes, fair value gap here. So, or we look on the 1 hour, that fair value gap here. So yeah, I'll update you guys to see if this trade works out or if it just gets ran through. There's not much news on anyway. Let me bring this over. Not much news on CAD 3 p.m. So that maybe affect the market. But yeah, let's see how this trade works out. Yo, so it is 11 o'clock at night, 10 past 6 p.m. New York time, and I'm just going to go through that Euro-USD trade that I explained this morning. So it was around here, I'm pretty sure, and what I said was I wasn't completely 100% confident that it's going to drop from here. The reason was because I wanted to see like push higher and then a displacement lower. This really, let me just go on a blank chart and I'll show you what I mean. Replay. So that trade that I showed this morning, it would have worked out. It would have got to about 3 to 1 or something like that. But I wasn't confident with it. So obviously there was the breaker structure, buy side liquidity purge here, so it runs higher. Then market structure shift here. There. Or if you want to wait for the 5 minutes, same thing. Market structure shift could have been there. Or you would wait for the lower to be here. So just wait for that there. What I didn't like was that wick, like I explained, fair value gap here. What I wanted to see was, I want to see a run higher and then a displacement lower. So we look on the 15 minutes. This is buy side liquidity here. So people who sold all this down have trailed their stops from there to there, and there's also stops there. So price is hunting the stops now, just like going for the liquidity. So there's buy side liquidity up here. So if you was early and you would have got in here. I said there was a trade here, and stop was just there, and a target down here, whatever. So it would have tapped you in, and it did end up dropping. It dropped to about 3 to 1, 5 to 1, which is nice, but there's no target there. There's not really a target. I mean, tapped sort of into, if you say this is as an order block here, taps into the order block, but it was still bullish. So potentially you could have it dropped down lower, enticing sellers, then market structure shift, and then fair value gap here, fair value gap there, sorry, here, there, taps in, and then runs buy side. Okay, so that's what I want to see. I want to see a fast momentum push up. So this is enticing buyers now. So buy side liquidity's been taken. So let's see what happens now. I went on the 1 minute, and what time is this? 10 o'clock. What time is that? That's the silver bullet hour. So 10 o'clock here, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. is a silver bullet. What happens now? So there's market structure shift there. If you got in pretty quick, that would have been crazy if you got that trade there. But I wanted to wait for either a drop lower or a push up and then a drop. So that drop here took out structure from there, that low, and then there's a fair value gap there. If you got into that trade there, that's amazing. And then I got in, tagged up into there, stops was just above there, and then my first target was here, second target down there, and it just ran in. And then as I was watching the trade, I saw it pull up here, and all it wanted to do was just pull back into this, pulled into that, went lower, took sell side, pulled back again. Don't think it even touches that. That does, taps into that there, and pulls lower, sell side here, and then takes. And then also what it taps into is, if we look on the daily quickly, there's the daily BISI here. So let's go back on the 1 minute and look where it taps into. Taps into that there before, now sort of going sideways. So that was the liquidity there. So that's your final target. Short from up there, run it down here. Nice silver bullet entry. And as I said about the dollar running into the daily volume imbalance. So it didn't bounce off that daily opening gap, it dropped lower, which we want to see the EU push higher. It then ran into that daily volume imbalance, and now it started to consolidate around it. And also the treasury bonds, as I said, the target was that sell side, and then target sell side. It's taken this sell side here. It tapped into that, like I said, and it was about here, and then it dropped, pushing dollar up. So EU would be going lower, and the next target potentially here. So yeah, hopefully that made sense, and why I didn't like shorting from here. I wanted to see like a run up, manipulation, quick, sharp market structure shift here. So displacement pulls into a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, and then drops lower for liquidity. So hopefully that made sense. Yeah, like, subscribe if that was helpful. I'm just doing this for myself anyway, and if it does help you, that's okay. But yeah, shout out to ICT, go to him for full help. I'm just doing this so my laptop doesn't have the space, so I'll just upload it to YouTube. But yeah, cool, sweet, be safe.